Welcome to the Striker's Perspective. Like, share, and subscribe. Ngannou versus Gane.
All right, I'm just gonna
Man,
start off by saying I've never seen you this invested in a fighter. Like I've never seen you care this much. What do you think about
bro,
that?
bro, let's get to this. So we're gonna pretend that the only reason Gane got stuck on the floor was because of the weight difference. We're not gonna. So we're gonna ignore the fact that Gane had better technique on the ground. That he was preparing himself to get up and flip the Gane over. He just couldn't do it due to the massive mass. We gonna overgloss that? We gonna overlook that or what?
I don't know because Stipe has held Francis down, so there's no excuses. And Stipe
That's
Stipe
true.
weighs
That's
Stipe
true.
weighs less than God.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, it's true.
Listen, I just think so. When you sent me the video of what Gane coaches was saying about how Gone, you can't get tired. It's impossible for you to get tired. It's your strength. Cardio is your strength.
Mm.
I think that relates in the sense of striking. Gane is a striker, so in the sense of striking, he's a pretty good point striker. He's pretty good at putting it on you, tap and tap and tap until it's time to finish. On the feet, he's not going to get tired. But we both know as strikers, grappling cardio is different than striking cardio. That's like telling a cyclist, go out there and run a marathon. The two don't correlate. Yes, you have an overall good cardio base, but if you are not well versed in that type of cardio for that specific sport, you're gonna get tired. I think Gane did get tired because yes, Francis is heavy, and this is the first time Gane's ever been taken down in a fight. And getting up is the most tiring part of MMA. There is no. You could throw strikes, you could explode, you could take people down, you could be on the ground doing jiu-jitsu, but having to get up when someone's forcing you down is the most tiring part of the sport. And Gane experienced that. He experienced it with the heaviest guy in the division.
Yeah. What's
But
next?
I've never seen you this passionate about a fighter. Usually you just let it roll off your shoulders when someone loses. But you taking some
Cause I think Gane won the fight, man. Gane got the fight. Yes, he was out. He outstruck him. He got he caused more damage, even though you really can't see it. Yes, he got when the guy who had him on the floor, he didn't do nothing. I don't get it. So if you beating my ass for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, all I gotta do is lay on top of you for 2 minutes and 30, and I win the round. Yes, the argument does come in that technically that person is controlling you, but like, come on, like really?
but how many so yes, there's that. But we've been through this before. You could win a fight but lose the competition. Those are two different things. Winning a fight and winning a competition are two different things. Ultimately, winning the competition is what gets you paid.
Mm.
So we've been through that. But at the same time, Gane is not a power puncher. So how much damage was he really landing? He's a tap, 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 tap type of guy, which is not an issue. It works well for him. But how much actual damage is he really causing?
Mm. Not much.
So at the end of the day, it was not some type of crazy. It was surprising the result. The fight was surprising, but it wasn't some type of crazy knockout, drag out war. It was just basically tactics. One guy was on the feet trying to land points, another guy was on the ground trying to land points. It was a sort of a point fight. And
Mm.
that's not a bad thing. Not every fight is going to end in a finish. Like I said, sometimes you got to win the competition if you don't know how to take your opponent out, because that's what's going to get you paid. But I think there's a lot that God can learn from this as far as wrestling and grappling and jiu-jitsu, but also on the feet. There are some things I would like to see him do differently. He has very good kicking, very good footwork. That's not going to change. I would like to see him set his kicks up more using his hands. I mean, we talked about this. I don't think his hands have to be up high guard, but because listen, I like the high guard, but not everyone has to use the high guard and come out like Vicente Luke and stuff like that, or come out like Jose Aldo. If you like to keep your hands down like Bobby Green and you're proficient at it and you're good at it and that's your thing, cool. But you got to learn how to throw those punches from that angle, because Bobby Green keeps his hands down and he's a proficient boxer. So maybe if Gane can put those punching combos together like that to set up his feet, he'd have more success because he was having difficulty really entering on Francis Ngannou. And everyone has difficulty entering on Francis Ngannou, but I think that would be the next level.
Yeah.
And from Francis's point of view, I really don't know what he can improve on because he came into the fight injured. So it's not like an authentic performance. They're saying that his knee was blown and he can't really strike and explode. Maybe kicks for Francis Ngannou. What's up?
So, okay, hold on a second, bro. So when he beat Lewis' ass in front of Auntie and them, you didn't have any tips for him. When he beat Volkov ass, you had no tips for him. So how can you have striking tips for him when he didn't lose from a striking perspective? He lost because he got held out on the floor.
Because defensive striking is a thing. So I always like to think defensive minded. Sometimes it's hard for you to know what you're doing wrong until you lose. And now that he's lost, he's gotten taken down. Now to say, oh, this is what he needs. This is some things that would work better. Because as strikers, yes, you can stop a grappler from taking you down using grappling, but the first line of defense is going to be your striking. If he fights a Stipe, he can't just go out there and throw naked kicks like that. He fights John Jones, you can't go out there and throw naked kicks like that. He fights Curtis Blades, you can't go out there and throw naked kicks like that. Those guys are waiting for you to throw a kick so they could grab a leg and take you down. This is Francis Ngannou. His wrestling has improved, but that's not what he's known for. So that's what I'm saying. I think about this. We've both done sparring rounds with grapplers. You know how it is to throw a leg kick and they grab it, throw a body kick and they grab it, push kick and they grab it. So it's not going to be any different. Now that like we've seen what happens when someone loses, now you can start sort of making those adjustments.
You know, you don't really see that. Now that you mentioned that, do you see that much in the MMA, like UFC, like people grabbing kicks? I don't see that.
I see people reaching for them. Sometimes I see people grab them, but there's certain fighters who grab kicks and take people down a lot. But usually against those fighters, people know not to throw kicks. It's just something, like if I'm fighting John Jones, if I'm fighting Khabib, I'm not going to throw a push kick to a stomach.
It's funny how, because I was actually watching that. Remember that video I sent you with Jones's attempt to take down Santos?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Before he did, he threw like a vicious push kick. So it's interesting that there's certain things you can't do to him, but with fighters like them, they can do anything they want because that threat isn't there. So that's cool. So that's
there's something when you have the coin toss. So I think of wrestling as the coin toss. You get to choose whether you want to be on the ground or standing up. When you control the coin toss, you get to sort of fight with no fear. Like Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman can go out there and throw a jumping, spinning back kick and have zero technique. But who's going to take him down?
Yeah.
Besides Kobe Covington, maybe.
Maybe Gilbert.
Nah.
Gilbert did take him down during that fight, didn't he?
I can't remember, but he was going to keep him down. So when you control that aspect of MMA, there's something about being able to control one aspect of MMA so well that it controls everything else. Like Israel, his stand-up is so above the rest that it sort of hinders your wrestling because you can't even get in to shoot on him. So that's why I think like having specialists, people think of having specialists as a dying breed, but I don't think it's going to be a dying breed because when you're able to control one aspect so well, it really does hinders other opponents' game plan to a T.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that Brandon Moreno fight versus?
I think it was that was the right call. I agree. I think Moreno came in there just wanting to brawl and have a war, and Figgy went in there more calculated.
I'll say this. I'll say Moreno threw the better combinations. He looked more comfortable. just Figgy landed the shots that put Moreno on his butt. I would say, frame-wise, I think Moreno filled out his frame. Like, he looked a little bit bigger this fight, too.
Mm.
And when the combinations were flowing, like the regular combinations, I would say his fluidity translated into him having more power because he was so loose.
He was crisp.
When Figgy did land, he put him on his butt, but he was very tentative the whole fight, so he never really let real power go. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's accurate?
But I agree he was very tentative, which I don't understand. I don't understand why. Because you see the first fight, and it's just nonstop Dragon Ball Z brawling. But this one, it's like he couldn't, and Moreno was hitting him. But for some reason, I don't know, bro. Like I literally can't wrap my head around it. You look at that first fight; they are brawling in each other's face, just swinging to the hills. But this, like, he just couldn't take a punch at all for Moreno. It seemed like
he didn't. So what I think is he really didn't want to get into one of those crazy brawls. He knew what he had to do to win the fight. He did what he had to do to win the fight, which was stay composed.
But I'm saying, even when he got hit, like, his reaction to getting hit was like he almost got knocked out a couple times. I'm like, damn, like, before he was getting like crazy hits, but this, every time Moreno touched him, it was like he couldn't take it. You didn't see that part?
I know what you're saying. He was tentative, and I think he knew the power that Moreno had. And sometimes when you're tentative, you take shots even worse than when you're loose.
Mm.
We've had sparring rounds with people where one time you could take their shots, and the next time you're like, man, last time was crazy, and then you're more tentative, and they just beat you up.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get into a knockout, drag-out war. He was doing his best. I think he did well. I would like to see Moreno do better with the leg defense. That's something that's often slept on in MMA. It's like people will let you, and I've been victim to it too, so I can't talk too much, smack. But at the highest level, people really don't really check leg kicks or block leg kicks. They sort of just take them.
Mm.
Like it's a badge of honor or a toughness thing. They'll just eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leg kicks. And then I'm like, why are you waiting until your leg is beat up to start blocking the leg kicks?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't really see leg kicks thrown too much in high level MMA for some reason.
I mean, you checks, you mean?
Yeah, check. Yeah, check.
Yeah. It's weird.
No, but hold on. But even from a style like Aldo, like, you don't see, people don't fight like that. So I feel like if more people are fighting like Aldo, I think, okay, we'll see more checks. But you don't, like, a typical fight has like what, like maybe 5, 6 kicks, even though it could take 6, 5, 6 to take you down. Like,
listen, when people, it's sort of when people land 2 or 3, we had this conversation about MMA fighters going back to the well. So if they see they can land 2 or 3, you're going to see them go to the well. And that's when you're going to see the 7, 8, 9, 10 leg kicks.
Yeah.
So you got to stop it early.
Yeah.
Because Figgy was going to the well.
Yeah, I had Figgy winning that by just calculated fight. He fought a smart fight.
Yeah, he knew what he had to do to win the competition. He
know.
He can't go out there and beat the guy in a fight because that's a 50-50 type of thing. But you could strategically plan to win the competition of MMA, and I think he did that. Cejudo's a great coach, Olympic champion. He understands competition at the highest rate. Who understands competition more than Cejudo? He knows what you have to do to win the competition aspect of martial arts.
I don't want to see him fight a 4th time immediately. I want to see some other stuff in the division. I get, let him fight a 4th time, but like, come on, not again. Just
back to back.
Yeah, let's see some other stuff. We got some other fighters.
I didn't want to see number 3. To me, number 3 was stupid because it was tied, and then Moreno won. Why? Moreno had the series up. Now the series is tied again. So it was stupid to me.
And then if Moreno wins the next one, it's a number 5.
Moreno wins the next one, he'll be up 2-1.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're tied right now. It's 1-1-1.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe Kai Kara France. See him
Yeah.
getting there. Literally anyone else.
Yeah.
This reminds me of heavyweight wars. Stipe versus DC versus Francis. Stipe versus DC. Stipe versus Francis for like 2 years.
I want to see Moreno versus Kobe. I mean, not Kobe. Moreno versus Cody. Even though I think Moreno would probably beat his freaking ass. I would love to see a fight like that.
I don't really know where I see Cody Garbrandt at as far as 125 or 135 because there's some things that he has to work. He's such a proficient boxer and proficient wrestler. You really don't see his wrestling though. And it's hard to be, he has very good boxing offense, but sometimes you have such good offense that you do not work the defense as much as you should. And his defense is lacking sometimes when it comes to boxing defense and the boxing and the kickboxing defense. So I would like to see him take a lower level fights. There's nothing wrong with that. People always say like, oh, you should want to fight the number 2 guy, the number 4 guy, but if you're losing back to back, maybe you're not at that level. And it's okay to go to your level, fight guys in the 10 to 15 and build, especially when you're rebuilding yourself. And boxing fighters rebuild themselves all the time, but MMA, and make it sound like you're scared if you go rebuild yourself and come back with new skills, which is bizarre.
All right. Was that's Saeed Nurmagomedov? Was that on the main card or was that the last prelim fight? Do you know?
Honestly, I know what you're talking about. I was only able to catch the co-main and the co-main and the main event.
All right, so this is dude named Saeed Nurmagomedov, and he is a striker. He says, "Yo, I am a striker. That's what I want to do is strike." And he submitted this dude in like 30 seconds, easy. And he actually just called out Sean. He called out O'Malley. And listen, he's unranked. O'Malley's unranked. O'Malley only wants to fight unranked fighters.
O'Malley's, I think O'Malley's ranked ranked 13.
I'm talking about like top 10.
No, that still counts as ranked. They do it by top 15. Yeah.
Top 15? That's the rankings?
When you look on the page, they got it down.
Oh, I thought it was to 10. Okay. Wow.
People only talk about the 10, but they got it. When you look on the UFC website, they got it going down all the way to 15.
Oh, okay. All right, well.
So, but listen, now that O'Malley's ranked, right? He can say, I don't want to fight unranked guys.
Yeah, he can say that. Yeah. Because people are saying like he ain't gonna want to fight that dude. That dude was
dodge that bullet. I don't want to fight unranked guys.
Yeah, that dude is nice. I would love to see that fight. He gonna make some noise in that division. That boy is nice, man. For real.
If he wants to strike, but his grappling is already at such a high level like that, he's gonna be a problem. And like I said before, they set Cody Stanman up because he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and to put him against somebody of that caliber who's unranked, so that's not fair. The matchmakers are trying to use Cody Stanman.
Yeah,
which ain't
him through. Right. I want to see Saeed versus Jan. That's what I want to see. Let's spice it.
It can happen. I mean, listen, I don't really see anyone beating Jan. And the biggest thing is activity, because you could really get a title fight in a year if you fight 4 times and wash your opponents and run through them all. And that's what I think that's what some fighters don't understand. It's like you try to wait it out for a year, 2.5 years, take the right fights. But if you really go in there and beat everybody up in 1 year, they're going to give you a title shot.
Yeah. Yo, so What's you got Team UFC, Team Dana versus Team Ngannou. Which team you on? Who you rooting for?
I want the little guy to win. I want Francis Ngannou to win. I know you're you like the way big businesses operate. You think, as you say, you're probably Team Dana, but
listen. Here's what it is. I'm always Team Dana. I'm always Team Business. But I'll tell you this. I'm team right now for this one. I'm team because see, I'm entertainment. At the end of the day, I just like to be entertained, and this is highly entertaining. So, if the UFC wins and Dana has to fight, and he has to fight knowing that he lost a crazy battle and knowing that there's nothing he could do, that's entertaining to me. If Ngannou wins and Dana, and the realization hits Dana that, yo, I finally have to pay this guy his worth. And this sets a precedent for other fighters to want to know their worth. And he knows the SHIT storm that's gonna come from fighters wanting to pay their worth. That's entertainment to me too. So either way this coin plays out, it's gonna be a fun year.
I mean, I know you like the drama. My thing is, from a business standpoint, they say that business runs better when everyone is paid what they should be paid, because the fighters come in, because the employees come in happy because they're getting paid their worth.
Mm-hmm.
So from that standpoint, it's sort of like, why not just pay everyone their worth so there's no resistance? I know it's not good business, and I know that, as the boss, I can make more money, do this, do that, but
okay, so no, I agree with that, because even for example, when I work with contractors, I always pay them over the national average. But I think for fighting it's different, right? You're gonna fight. You're gonna fight against. You're gonna fight, bro. You're gonna fight hard. You got someone in there that want to take your head off. You're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's a little bit different. Now, if there is
unless they just don't fight,
that'd be crazy. That would be crazy.
Listen, these top guys could just not fight, and you could boost guys up, right? You can get a guy off the contender series. You can make them look unstoppable. You can give them the hype train, but once they lose, it's sort of like, come on. So if you got someone who's already established, like a Colby Covington, and they're not fighting, Leon Edwards, he's not fighting, Jorge's not fighting, Kamaru Usman's not fighting, and then you're trying to just hurry up and put lightning in the bottle and get this young kid off the contender series, and you're boosting him up, hyping him up, and then he loses. That's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a lot of money going into building young fighters and washing them out when you could just pay the established fighter.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not gonna. I don't see Kamaru and Colby not fighting, bro.
I mean, they're already not fighting.
Yeah,
but not Kamaru. But listen, Leon's already not fighting. He's fighting once a year. Colby's already fighting once a year. Jorge's already fighting once a year.
But that's different. That's different than saying I'm not fighting till I get some extra M's on that check. There's a difference, though, bro.
John Jones is holding out for those M's on the check.
Yeah. Or getting big. Which one is it? Is he holding out on the money or is he getting big? Which one is it, Malik? Huh? Talk.
Both.
He's getting big or
both. Listen, have you ever really sat down and watched John Jones fights?
It's been a minute. I'll tell you, this has been a minute. I'll keep it 100 with you. It's been a minute.
Because when you really go back and watch his fights, he really does beat guys at their own game plan.
Yeah. But he had a close fight with Reyes, where arguably people say Reyes won. He had a close fight with Santos, had a busted ass knees. Let's talk about it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's what have you done for me lately? We're not judging off of Machida. We're not judging off of Cormier. We judging off of those last two showings he had.
Last two showings. Listen, he got by. He did what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think John Jones has one of the best defenses, and that's sort of what keeps him alive. Because I will say this: he struggles with explosive, athletic. He struggles with boxers. So if you watch the first Gustafsson fight, he struggled with Gustafsson's boxing.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second fight with Gustafsson, he just took him out of boxing range. He took Gustafsson completely out of boxing range, which was beautiful. And that's actually going to be part of my footwork video. There's some things in the Gustafsson fight that he did that was really smart. He turned southpaw, and then he would just jab Gustafsson's jab and take the bison completely out. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that with Reyes because Reyes' style, everyone has a style that hinders your style. There's no one in the UFC that has a type of fighting that doesn't have a counter style to it. And unfortunately, Reyes' style is very bad for Jones. Reyes is a very good boxer, and he's very athletic. John Jones doesn't really have good offensive boxing. He has good defense, but the way that Reyes is able to switch angles and coming on and off the tracks really gave Jones trouble. Unfortunately for Reyes, his style did match up well with people like Jerry and Jan. Santos, that was a weird fight because John could have taken him down. He busted up Santos' knees pretty bad during the fight. But Santos isn't the same anymore either after, and I wouldn't expect him to be after 2 torn knees. But at heavyweight, I think there's just a skill difference.
Then come outside. Come outside and play. Come on, bro. Like, I don't get it, bro. Come outside and play. You talking smack on Twitter, come outside.
I think it's smart because he could just keep poking the bear. Because, listen, Izzy did the same thing to John.
But that fight is over with. That fight can never happen.
Did he not do the same thing with John?
He tried, but it's not going to happen, bro. The fight is over with.
Yeah, because seeing what happened, we know what John would do to Izzy on the ground.
No, that's not what it is. John is too big. He's not going to cut the 205. That shit is super. That's a super dub.
Izzy said he'll go to heavyweight for John.
Word? Oh, yeah. Damn. He said that?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
That's what I mean when I said Izzy was talking crazy.
How would he go to heavyweight? Okay, whatever. All right, cool.
Izzy was poking the bear. So now John's just poking the bear. And the way things are playing out, the UFC actually needs John now.
They're going to use him as a mercenary.
To take out, they need him to beat Francis.
It's over but Francis is not fighting. It's over for Francis.
Exactly.
It's really over. Unless they come up with a lot of money, he's really gone. Like it's
and if Francis is really gone, that's really good for John Jones.
Yeah.
Because technique-wise, no one else has the technique besides Stipe. And they're not a crazy...
Bone Gane. Don't sleep on Bone Gane, bro. Come on, bro.
Unfortunately, I think Cyril Gane style doesn't match up well with John Jones' style.
Why?
I
got Gane. I'm gonna keep it 100. I got Gane in that, bro.
Just because they both are not strong offensive boxers. So think about this. John Jones' the thing he struggles with most is the boxing aspect because his arms are so long that sometimes it's hard to get back to his face. So cool. I don't have to worry about crazy knockout strength. I just got to worry about some guy tapping me. I'm longer than Cyril Gane. He's taller. He's longer than Cyril Gane. So I could tap this guy from the outside with kicks while he taps me from the outside with kicks. Cool. We're both going to just touch each other's legs with kicks. And then when I want to take him down, I'll take him down. That doesn't sound too bad.
It's a good way to look at it.
What, this guy likes to elbow? I'm John Jones. I elbow better than he elbows. I get to play my game and just sit on the outside and poke. That doesn't sound too bad.
That's a good way to look at it. Yo, hold on. So going back to Ngannou, though, this is one of the first times where a fighter has some type of leverage. Usually fighters don't have leverage. Yeah. He has leverage. My contract is out in December. I don't have to fight till December. I'm not signing it. I'm gone. And he leaves with the belt, which is freaking crazy.
And I think it's smart.
This is the best case scenario for him.
Listen, he's what, 35, 36 or whatever? And if you can make a cool $5 million being UFC champion, current UFC champion, why not? And then come back to the UFC after you lose a boxing match for a couple M's and still beat everybody else up? Why not?
Yeah. Fight that Jake Paul fight. Why not?
Exactly.
They're going to be tight. I love it. I love this type of sleazy drama.
I do not understand why Dana hates people getting money outside the UFC so much.
Because he feels like he should run things and he doesn't want people asking for more. You take what I give you. And he feels that if this person asks for more, then everybody else is going to ask for more. And that's going to...
But listen. But outside of the UFC, I don't understand why he has a problem with people getting paid.
What do you mean?
If my fighter wants to go and fight a circus fight for $4 million, I don't care.
Well, because, okay, all right. So if say I'm your fighter, right?
Mhm.
Malik Rock kickboxing league, right? And I'm your champion. I'm like your welterweight champion or whatever the hell. And I go over to bare knuckle boxing league. You gonna let me go, right?
Yeah, if you lose, it sort of
Exactly.
depreciates
If
the
I get my
value.
head knocked off, nose breaking, all type of crazy, I'm looking like a goblin at the end of the fight, bro. It's not gonna look good on the brand,
Yeah,
bro.
you're right. It doesn't look good on the brand, but for like a circus fight, like you know what I'm talking about when I say circus fight, like a circus boxing fight.
Bro, he could get
Like,
beat up by Tyson and Jake Paul, bro. He
I
could mess around
see.
and get knocked out by Tyson.
By Tyson isn't a circus fight. That's a boxing match. He shouldn't do that
What's a circus
unless
fight?
circus fight you don't get hurt at. But like a Logan Paul, like a fun I tap you, you tap me fight. Who cares?
But that's not how happened to Tyron.
Tyron ain't Francis.
Oh my God. Yo, so now Francis is this big Greek legendary warrior now? Come on, bro.
No, but listen.
Like you never even seen him in a boxing ring.
That's very true. That's very true. But he also is more active than Tyron Woodley with the hands.
Yeah, and he's as of late, his record has been much better, more success. So
all right, we ventured off. Who's the next card? I forgot who the next card is. Oh, did we ever talk about the Giga versus Calvin Kattar thing? Did we talk about that?
I don't think so. No, that was last week, right? Nah.
We never talked about it?
Nah.
Calvin Kattar went hard in the paint.
Yeah, that was one for Giga that fight. He went crazy. He had to remind people, like, nah, yeah, remember this? Yeah, whole lot.
No, I just saw a crazy stat that Calvin Kattar has absorbed more punches more damage in the last two fights than 90% of the UFC roster in their whole career.
That's a horrific stat.
And then to think that 80% of that was Max Holloway in one fight.
Yeah, that's a horrific stat.
That's a terrible stat. So there's some things with Giga that I noticed. I noticed it in the Barboza fight, but I also noticed it in this fight. Is I always wondered about his cardio, just because he's not a super shredded guy, but also his style is similar to Barboza, where he kicks a lot. Kicking is very tiring. When you explode that many times, and he doesn't like tap you with his kicks, he's full on Muay Thai, hard kicks. It's hard to explode that much. So I always wonder how long the gas tank would last. And he's very fast. And there's something about being a very fast, hard striker where you're just going to gas because that's a lot of energy. And he did. His head movement looked good when he gassed, I'll say that, but his hands dropped low. And I did notice one thing. So Giga stands southpaw, and he throws a lot of left kicks. I really didn't see a lot of right kicks. He sort of relies heavy on the left leg. When I look at Giga, I look at Edson Barboza, I look at Yair Rodriguez, possibly three out of the best kickers in the UFC. They might be the three best kickers in the UFC. Wonderboy Thompson can throw them in there, but they're three out of top five. They all do different things with the way that they kick. Edson Barboza is a prolific switch kicker, and he has one of the best spinning techniques with his kicks. When I look at someone like Giga, his strength in kicking comes from the accuracy of his kicks. I'll say that he has some of the best accuracy, especially with the body kicks. And then when I look at Yair and the way he kicks, he has very good jumping kicks. When you look at him throw sort of like a jumping switch kick, stuff like that. So it's sort of interesting to me that the three of the best five kickers in the UFC are 145, but they all kick and do and have different strengths in the way that they kick. And another thing about Edson Barboza is he's a prolific leg kicker too. He's one of the only guys with it. He's the only guy in the UFC with a leg kick finish, body kick finish, and a head kick finish. So this is where I say, marketing team, what's up? You got three of the best kickers in the UFC. Why don't we make a fake belt? Promote yourself. Let's see who's the best kicker at 145.
Yeah, there's money in that.
There's money. People want to see that. Listen, Giga beat Edson, all right? All right, cool. Yair, he's not getting a belt anytime soon. So why don't we do the Yair versus Edson or Yair versus Giga? I think this is the time for fighters to really promote themselves. Oh, I'm the best kicker in the UFC. No, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. I'm the best grappler in the UFC. When you put small titles like that on yourself, like even Michael Chiesa, if he would have just been like, yo, we fighting for the best, like when he fought Sean Brady, right? Even if you cap it a little bit, like, yo, I'm fighting for the best grappler in the UFC. We're about to see who really the best grappler. I'm about to go on there and I'm about to put it on Sean Brady. He about to try to put it on me and this grappler. We're going to see who's really nice. People are going to tune into that. When you put the word best in front of something, tell me that don't get you hyped.
So, yeah, like, hold on, let me see what this is.
Yeah. And if you're really the best, like Edson Barboza, Giga, and Yair, we go, I'm really the best kicker. I'm really the best kicker. Oh, okay, I want to see who the best kicker is.
Right, and you know it's going to be a crazy kick fest during that match, too.
Like hold on. Let me tune in, 8 o'clock. We see who the best kicker is. And I just think fighters got to sort of be smart like that in a way.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Where's Cater go from here? Cater versus Ortega? Does that sound fun for you?
I think that's the next step. Cater versus Ortega. He got a lot of hype. Ortega just came off of a championship loss. He doesn't want to go too far down. I like Ortega, and can't get over the fact that freaking Volk is fighting a zombie. Man,
that's a weird one because it's like Max should get it. All right, whatever. But he did have a point with Yair. He shut Yair down. When he said you ran from Zabit for 2 years, then you got suspended from running from drug tests, and then you lost your last fight, and you won a title shot.
Yeah.
That was 3 solid points.
You violated him. Yeah.
So it was sort of like, yeah, Yair, you're not really next.
It is zombie? It's just a weird thing.
And then zombie, like I said.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. I hope zombie win.
That'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
And then we also forget about Zabit. I heard rumors that Zabit coming back.
Why did he leave in the first place?
Health issues.
Okay. I read something about Zabit. They said so-and-so. What is Zabit known for?
He's all around. He was all around.
Because they was like, yo, so-and-so is the next Zabit. I don't know if they're talking about Saeed. They're like, yo, this is the next Zabit.
But I would think, listen, I mean, honest with you, I don't think Zabit beats Max Holloway just because I think he's too big for the division. He's 6'2", 6'3", and he's going down to 145. That's a hard cut.
Where's he from, Zabit?
I don't know. I don't know. But I don't like that fight, Max Holloway versus Zabit. I don't want to see Zabit gas out against Max. Because Max will put it on you. So what's next for Giga?
Heal up. Came up with a loss. I would say Giga versus Yair.
How about Giga versus your boy Josh Emmett?
Oh, I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah.
Yair sounds fun too.
I got
the kicker thing, but I know you don't like Josh Emmett.
Yeah, I got Giga taking that. I like that one. Emmett versus both coming off of a loss.
I mean,
got some hype to him.
Nah. Emmett just won.
Oh, Emmett won. He did win. Okay. They might not do that one though.
Nah, they're close. They're close in ranks. Giga versus Emmett.
I like that though, Emmett and Giga, and I think Emmett will take that fight.
He would.
I like that. Giga and Emmett. That's the fight to make. I got Giga banging on that, man.
You really don't like Emmett.
No, I don't like Emmett.
Giga is bigger than Emmett.
Emmet, go to lightweight, bro. Nah.
Listen, Giga's 6 feet tall. And he got wide. He does have wide shoulders. He's not some little. He's not like a 6 foot like Izzy, where he's 6'3" and skinny. Giga got some shoulder width to him.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you know I don't like Emmett, bro. You know why? We don't even got to get into it. You know, it's not even about him being extra tall.
Because you think that Emmett is on. You think that Emmett is on the juice.
I think that. You know, I think that because I know there are some guys are. I know probably some of my favorite fighters are, but it's just so obvious. Like the way his gut, like you could see the enlarged intestines and his enlarged intestines from the HGH protruding from his gut. And that shit just rubs me the wrong way when he was fighting Ige. And Ige was clearly more advanced skillfully than him, but he couldn't manage his power. Now, if you guys were a similar weight, I'll be fine. But the fact that I know, I'm not going to say I know, I'm not going to put it on his jacket, but I'm 80% sure he's doing that. Just looking at his body, it just rubs me the wrong way. Go to lightweight.
I'm not going to judge somebody until they get popped. So,
because okay. So first of all, I know you done seen people get USADA jackets.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Nah. If you get a USADA jacket, USADA don't care who. USADA's not part of the UFC.
Bro, so you don't think it's easy to dodge USADA? Have you seen some of the people who've gotten USADA jackets? Are you serious?
You can't dodge USADA.
Bro, there's no way to cover up the steroid test from USADA. You're saying there's no way. Have you seen the people who've gotten jackets?
Yeah, Francis got a jacket.
Come on, my G. Come on.
I know. Listen, I don't keep up with it. I know Francis. I think you could beat it.
Francis, bro.
Yeah, he got a jacket. He's natural. No, Francis ain't on the juice. Francis not on the juice.
Bro, what are you talking about? How?
He's not on the juice.
How? Please tell me how. Have you seen his old pictures?
He's not vascular.
Have you seen his old pictures? So you can gain that much muscle in like 3-5 years?
Yes. Listen, you gotta understand.
Bro.
Where did he come from? What was he eating?
Fufu, and
he was poor, bro. He wasn't eating like that. He even said it when he fought Stipe the first time. He said it. I was overweight. I was eating good. I was knocking everyone out, and then I started getting UFC money. And when I fought Stipe the first time, I was eating good. He came in 280. Look at that first Stipe fight. He wasn't cut. But he filled out his frame. His frame was to always be that large. And those old pictures, he's about 230, but he didn't fill out his frame. And then you got to remember this. The UFC has a UFC Performance Institute. So he's going to the UFC Performance Institute, which is one of the highest levels of training. And they're training him. They're doing all types of scientific tests to do this, to do that, to make him that way. So Francis said he don't even eat certain things because he's afraid of popping.
So if that's the case, how come everybody doesn't go to the UFC Performance Institute?
Some fighter, I've asked that myself, to be honest. It's in Las Vegas. I think they only got one
and they feed
one
you,
institute. Right? They give you dietitians and all that. Some guys like to do it on their own. But do you see guys who go to the UFC Performance Institute? They really don't mess around. They know what they're doing. They got the best technology. That's one thing I'll say about the UFC. They is providing you with an institute.
Oh, so you team UFC. I shout out to my boy Malik and all. Yeah.
Just with that one thing. But that's weird though. Now I think about it. He uses the UFC Performance Institute even though he's against the UFC. That is kind of weird.
Listen, it's in his contract. It says it's available.
Yeah, use it. Get your money. Nah, but there's some. Listen, is there some guys who probably get around USADA? Definitely. There's no way. Listen, if there's something that you could cheat at, people are going to cheat on it. It's just the way it is.
So if you had to go for a guess without any proof, is Emmett on it? Yes or no? You don't want to say it. You say yes. You're gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no because until someone's popped, I never want to.
So why you smile?
Because I know that you want me to say yes so bad. But listen, until someone pops, because listen, there's guys who pop who you're surprised. You're like, you popped?
Yeah.
You wasn't what performance enhancing drug was you taking? Because it really wasn't enhancing your performance.
Yeah.
There's some people like, ooh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And then there's some guys where you're like, yeah.
Makes sense.
Like Marvin, I believe Paulo Costa popped. And then I was like,
So it made sense? You said it made sense?
I was like, I wasn't surprised.
So if Ngannou pop, would you be surprised?
I would be surprised just because of how adamant he was against it, against always, and how adamant he was for always being clean.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna take integrity.
That's really what it is. Paulo Costa
Okay.
never said nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay.
He never shined no light on himself and said nothing.
Yeah, what you say about Marvin Vittori talking crazy about Izzy?
Listen, 185 guy has some of the most
delusional, crazy characters. Listen,
Paulo Costa with the million excuses. Izzy with the constant trash talk. Kevin Holland with the constant trash talk, even when he's losing in the middle of the fight. Sean Strickland just coming on the record saying anything. And then Marvin Vittori, I really don't understand that. Marvin Vittori is a very great fighter. Nothing against his fighting skills, but the statement that he said when he said that Izzy sort of fights you like a B word when he knows that he can't beat you, that is a very weird statement. At this point, he's trying to fight Izzy's ego because he cannot beat him in the skill. Because when you go back and look at Marvin Vittori versus Israel Adesanya 2, you could probably take away 5 minutes of a B-roll of Marvin Vittori just looking at Izzy perplexed. In that 25-minute fight, I could probably get 5 minutes of legit B-roll of Marvin Vittori standing in front of Izzy, not knowing how to enter. So I really don't like when fighters say things like that. I believe it's better after you lose. Just like, yo, I lost and go back and get better. But to dish your opponent and say that he fights you a certain way because he knows he can't beat you, but he just beat you, bro. He outstruck you. The first fight was close. I'll give you that. The second fight, you lost. I don't understand.
Yeah. You could tell, because I remember at the end of the fight, with like 10 seconds left, his coach said, yo, you have to go in and finish him with a strike. And he used that 10 seconds to grapple Izzy. Even Izzy, if you look at Izzy's face, even he was surprised. He was like, really? All right.
And Marvin Vittori in his head believed that he was winning off the grappling, but I don't know.
Shout out to Marvin.
I don't know. I just don't get it. But what you gonna do? Where's he? Who's he fight?
Marvin? I want to see Marvin and Kenan Neer for some reason. I don't know why.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
And I want to see Marvin and Brunson. Did they fight already?
I don't believe so.
I want to see that. Just mix these guys up a little bit.
Yeah, shake up the 185.
Yeah, stop thinking about Izzy. Leave Izzy out of this.
Because he's fighting Robert Whittaker. All other guys fight. You know how I am. Let these guys fight. Yeah. But you got anything else?
No, it's all good, bro.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yo, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for staying with us. Peace.
Peace.